if they let me go back, I will go back tomorrow because my mom is expecting me to go, to see me. But she advised me not to go back now.
Really? When was the last time you saw your mum?
My mom is 90 years old, and her she really worries about my safety, and also asked me not to talk too much about China.
Chinese authorities appear to have quashed the protests which sprang up across the country this week. It was China's biggest wave of civil disobedience since President Xi Jinping took power a decade ago rather, and it comes as the number of COVID cases hit record daily highs and large parts of several cities faced new lockdowns. Has the protest been snuffed out, or will the prospect of a continuing zero COVID policy, which is not being pursued anywhere else in the world really, mean more could be on their way? Let's talk to the Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. Good morning to you. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
Good morning.
Were you surprised at the scale of the protest? One of the things that's been said to us by people in China that they weren't localized, they really did spread from all across the country. Were you surprised at the extent of them?
Well, it's not surprising because the whole China, almost everybody facing the same kind of COVID zero policy. People being locked down in their rooms over 100 days, and many people have a little, have to go out to buy something, being arrested or beaten, or their door being welded under the put on lock on the door. So it's very very brutal policy. So it's no surprise people really get tired of it and really want to have some voice out,
And
especially during this World Cup. So people say uh, the soccer team and even the CCTV cannot show the full image of the audience. But still people realize the COVID is not such a horrible thing to be like that.
yeah, do you think that these protests will continue now, or has the repression as we've expected it to happen? Do you reckon that has sort of snuffed it out, or do you think they'll re-emerge, the protesters?
It's not possible to continue. Chinese is a police state, and this government maintains this kind of control method in past 70 years, and there's no single one can escape this punishment by raising up her voice.
And actually, do you feel that, Xi Jinping, there was the Congress earlier this year where his role and his power was cemented? Do you think he's in a more powerful position than ever?
His more powerful position than anybody in Chinese history or modern history, but also in the world level, he's more have a much more solid position than any other leaders.
And can anything change that? Can anything shift that power? Can anything give hope or freedom to Chinese people when they see that you're saying he's the most powerful figure in Chinese history? Does that make it almost seem hopeless for them?
Well, I would not say hopeless. It's they may have some kind of internal struggle, but it looks like after this communist meeting, and he successfully had his third term, and the selected people around him is really very loyal to him. So it seems no chance for any kind of change in next days.
How do you think the West should respond to China? Because there's a lot of debate in this country about that. We had the Prime Minister talking about it yesterday, talking about robust pragmatism, recognizing that China is a threat in many ways to the West. How do you feel that the
Well,
West should approach China?
China is very clear, have a clear strategy and to dealing with West, and China realized that's a shuffle time. So China already in much better position in the West, and they will redefine, the world order. So the West, I don't think is very consciously about that. Even is very conscious, still they don't have an equivalent system to make a competition with China.
And what will China do with that? Do you feel, Ai Weiwei? What do you think that they will do with this power. They have this power, as you say. They're going to be the largest economy soon. They are going to be the most powerful country in the world. America's had that position for several decades, I suppose. What will China do? What do you feel the regime wants to do with that power?
Well, all those powerful states, they want to have their time. They're very very ambitious, and they probably will have their time for a moment. But this is almost like weather, So it's very hard to do anything about it.
Yeah. Can you ever see yourself living in China? You live in Portugal at the minute, I believe. Can you see yourself ever living in China?
In China,
Yeah.
it's not possible. My life will be finished if I'm living in China.
And do you think that will always be the case? Do you ever see yourself living in China ever in the future?
I don't really know. It's if they let me go back, I will go back tomorrow because my mom is expecting me to go, to see me. But she advised me not to go back now.
Really? When was the last time you saw your mum?
My mom is 90 years old, and she really worries about my safety, and also asked me not to talk too much about China.
Yeah. And that's very difficult for you, isn't it? Because presumably you want to talk about China. You've been very eloquent just now with China, but you've got your mum back home there, and that must be a difficult situation for you.
It always has been a difficult situation. My father was exiled for 20 years. He was very renowned poet. So it has always been difficult for her.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, we wish her the very best. Just before you go, the former leader, Jiang Zemin, came to power after Tiananmen Square protests. He's died at 96. How do you think China changed under him?
Well, his management just have one words. Let's make money quietly. And during his 10 years staying in power, China join the WTA, World Trade, and also had a big lift. And China had the best relations with U.S. and the Western world. So it's a big prosperity during his time. But of course, he's quite bureaucrats under this communist ideology. He crashed Falun Gong and made many people life miserable.
Yeah. But it changed the economic achievements of the country. Ai Weiwei, what a great pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for taking the time.